is she not doing it?
Because she broke.
No, she not. There we go. Okay. Action. Welcome back to Thoughts in a Glass podcast. I'm LaToya.
And I'm Kendra.
This is a weekly podcast where we share our unfiltered thoughts about a variety of topics over a cocktail.
So sit back, join us. Hopefully you find this funny. And listen, we done tried to record this earlier. Okay, I can't hold it in. I got to be real with y'all. Okay, so I didn't have this shirt on. I had my unruly cousin shirt. We had a whole thing, and it was a good time.
It was a
good conversation, and maybe when we figure it out, we'll drop it and just say this is what we talked about before. But whatever. But sit back and enjoy the foolery of Thoughts in the Glass.
Period. We, like Kendra said, this is our second time trying to record this.
This is like the third time.
I don't know how many times trying to upload it. Mercury retrograde.
It really came
our
in
equipment.
Full effect.
Wires, if you know, you know. But the wires are crossed.
The wires were crossed. Okay. But you know what? I'm gonna say this. I think it happened for a reason because we figured out some stuff while we were talking, and then we kind of got off track, backtrack, stuff like that. It's just been a whole thing. And speaking of, I hope you guys had a chance to watch the eclipse because we won't get another one unless you over in the Europes in 2026. We won't get it until 2044, if I'm not mistaken. So, okay, I'm going to ask you because you be into the astronomy and the world and the touching on this. So, what was your thoughts on it?
Where we are in the DMV area, I was underwhelmed.
Okay.
I was underwhelmed.
Okay.
I mean, I saw it through the glasses and it was cool to see, but in reality, I was underwhelmed.
Okay.
I feel like maybe spiritually and like internally, I had some of my own things going on and some revelations and some things, that I kind of picked up during that time that may have happened either way, but it just, to me, was a major coincidence that, like, I was having some revelations at the same time as the eclipse.
Right.
So, on that level, I was...
It was opening up some floodgates, you think?
And on that level, I was overwhelmed, but to actually see it was underwhelming.
Right.
Here where we are.
Right.
In some places where they got total darkness, it probably
was like exciting.
Yeah. But yeah.
So, I'm a big fan of the tickety talk, right? And so I was like, you had all these people, it's doing this to you and it's doing that. Now, I saw, same as you, I saw it. I saw it moving. So that's kind of like, that's really cool. But, I mean, other than that, I went on back to work. Because the picture's going to be on this. I got all the photos.
Yeah.
But the next day, it kind of was talking about, like, if things that may have happened to you during.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, Monday, I picked up Janae from work. She was like, "Ma, I don't know what it is, but I ate something this morning. Immediately, it came up. Ate something else immediately. I got sick at work. I was like, so have you been feeling sick? Like, what's going on? And I'm sorry, my child is 18. The first thing I think, you better not be pregnant. That's the first thought that comes in my mind. So she was like, nah, I just feel like, I said, do you feel sick? She was like, no, it just all of a sudden, after I eat something, I'll just regurgitate. Watched the TikTok and it was like, so if you were feeling sick, stomach pains, throwing up, the top of the, that was you are spiritually connected to the word and it's trying to get that stuff about you. So I sent it to her and she said, "Welp." And it's so crazy because she's turning 18, she's getting ready to graduate, she's embarking into a new life. So
that, like, 18 to like 25, it's gonna be a lot going on. And it starting off with an eclipse is kind of crazy for her. But I'm going to just...
Listen.
If you know, I'm going to leave it there.
Because I'm like, I hope some things have come up out of her that's going to allow her not to necessarily get back to who she was, but open up a space for her to learn about who she wants to be. Outside of the things that have happened in her, in her past. So anyway, But we all over the place because you know what we didn't do?
The
drinking of the
night. We getting right into it.
We getting right. Listen, welcome to. Let me see. Let's do this. Let me do this. Everything ain't gonna always be in alignment, and I think we have to learn to flow with it. And we be trying to be like, oh, we're gonna say that. Make sure we say the thing right, and make sure we do this right, and make sure we have specific amount of time for this, that, and the fourth. I just really want y'all to enjoy the show.
I'm telling y'all, this Mercury retrograde, like
through it all.
Maybe it's not that. I know some of y'all gonna be like, oh, she into that. Maybe it's not that. But it's just, to me, it's a huge coincidence that when it comes to this, something that where we're communicating, and Mercury is the planet for communication, it has literally been either we're not remembering things, the equipment's not working, we not keeping the docket straight. Like it's
excuse me, we all over the place. But we are doing this in all seriousness because I think we have personalities that are welcoming and allowing a different perspective.
Yeah.
And I just really want y'all to enjoy it, and we don't want it to be. We just don't want y'all to be like, now y'all not staying on topic. Y'all not doing this, that, and the because let me tell you something. What I do is rant, and what I do is ramble. I'm gonna take you here, there, and everywhere, but stay with me, cause I'm gonna bring it back, baby. I'm gonna bring it back.
We bring it back. So every week we do a drink of the night. So yes. Kendra, tell us, what is the drink tonight?
So the drink tonight, and what we're going to do, these two drinks that for this episode and the next episode are my partner's more of his speed of things. So this drink here is called the Negroni. Not the nigga, but the Negroni. And
can we say that?
Can we say?
Maybe we can.
I think so.
That, right?
I mean, they be saying it all the time.
Yeah, they do.
All of the stuff.
Okay.
I didn't say it with the hard ER.
Okay.
And so this is usually made with rum, Campari. Sorry, not rum. Gin, Campari, and sweet Vermouth. We're not big gin drinkers. So, and I would say this, any spirit or any drink that we talk about that comes with a spirit, you can use anything.
Right.
You don't have to necessarily use exactly what comes with it. So we use whiskey. I preferably, you could do it like a white tequila. You can mix and mingle whatever kind of things you want with all the different type of spirits and the liqueurs and the dressings. But then you just garnish it. And you do 3/4 of an ounce. So basically just a little less than a full ounce on all of the ingredients. And then you just garnish it with a orange. Okay, y'all. Get a tingle of your sweat.
So, how was your week?
My week was great. It was the anticipation of our new arrivals. Well, they're not new arrivals, but they're our new arrivals. I got 10 little puppies.
What kind of puppies?
They are Yorkie Poodles, so Yorkie Poo.
Aww.
Hello, Yorkie Poo.
Like miniature toys? So,
they're not going to be miniature. Their dad was a mini poodle. Their mom is like a average Yorkie.
Yeah.
So, we have Jace, who is all black, and I'll try to get some pictures. He's the heavier one. He takes more after the mom.
Okay.
He's an eater. He's all black, and he got the hair that looks like untamed.
He got a 4C curl
pattern. He's more of like a 3A. Okay. Like kind of a loose way.
Okay.
Close to, I put my finger in the socket.
Okay.
Kind of thing. And then we have Julian, who takes more after his dad, who has more of that poodle 4C.
Okay.
Kind of
he
hair.
Has the curly curls.
He has the curly curls, and he's brown and black. Jace is all black. Jace is all black. So we were going to only get one, which was going to be Julian. But I felt like Janae's going to take this dog when she move out, and now this is another dog that I will have connected with.
Mm-hmm.
And people, I don't know if anybody know, I had a dog previously, when right before Justin passed. We had this dog for about 3.5-4 years, and once he passed, the day of his services, he ran off because they were like this. So I feel like he knew his spirit was gone. I ain't staying up in here with y'all niggas.
Right.
Got to go.
Right.
So I didn't want to get attached to another dog and then they be gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up getting 2 because I know Jayla ain't going nowhere for a while.
Right.
And then also I have a thing with siblings being able to be together. I didn't want to take him away from his whole family.
Yeah.
So him having his brother there, it just meant something to me. So.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm a dog mom again.
Aww.
Well, grandma, because they think they the mamas.
Oh, okay.
And the aunties.
Oh, okay.
And then, what else did we do?
Oh! FYI, Hercules loves little dogs.
Oh,
I mean,
bring him over.
He don't like puppies.
Oh,
so when they get older.
A little older,
yeah.
okay.
But he loves little dogs.
And I will say, like, they're not, like, all over the place type puppies. Like, they kind of, like, want to be up chill, under you, but they super chill. I will say, I took them today to get their shot. This little dog was roughing. And you would think my bigger dog, Jace, would be the one that's kind of, like, snappy. When I tell you it was the little Napoleon, the 3-pound barking back, like I said, oh, that is Jayla dog, because Jayla go bark at you. So, but yeah, so we definitely love them. So we definitely have to do a play date when they get a little bit older. Yeah. They have 2 more rounds of shots before they're fully vaccinated for and don't have to get another for another year. But yeah. And then Toya and I,
yes,
we went to go see. Oh wait,
before we talk about that, this week, so the last 2 weeks, all I've been doing is listening to my girl,
the queen.
What can I say? Yeah, it's been out for a while, so
right.
I feel like everybody who would listen to it has been listening to Cowboy Carter. Do I think it's country? I think there are a few songs that are
country-esque. Okay.
I think that when it first came out, she said it's not a country album, it's a Beyonce album. I definitely get that vibe. I definitely get this is her kind of infusing country music into a different type of, because it's not even really R&B for real. Okay. I think she's just blending and merging genres, which I really like. The whole album itself, I think, is a solid piece of work, honestly. Like, if you just want to listen to music just to appreciate music and kind of, like, bop a little bit, you can. But if you're looking for, like, something where you're just like, I want to play it and just dance the whole time, it's not Renaissance. Okay. And I hate that people are comparing the two because it's apples and oranges. It's 2 totally different projects. It's 2 totally different things. Don't stop comparing them. Right. With this album though, I would say so I could start at Levi Jeans, which is like track number 16. Okay. And I could listen all the way until the end. Okay. I can go from there. Just and how many songs on the album? 22 songs. Okay. So the first half of the album, it's not bad. It's just not songs that I would regularly listen to. Okay. A couple things I want to touch on, and then we can move on from this. But one, I find it interesting that the girls on TikTok have been saying that the song with her and Miley Cyrus, 2 Most Wanted, they're saying that it's giving lesbian vibes. Okay. And maybe it is, but I just find that so interesting. I mean, she has been known to like not shy away from the LGBTQ community. Yeah. So I'm not surprised by it, but I was like, I didn't get that. Okay. I didn't get that. But as they're explaining it, I'm kind of like, oh, I can see how it is. I just thought it was 2 women that were singing a love song. I didn't think they were singing it to each other.
Well, I would have to see because I ain't listened to none of it.
I know you didn't, but so that was that. And then the other thing is somebody had pointed out that her rendition of Jolene is from her mom's perspective. It's from Tina's perspective. Okay. It's not from her perspective. So everybody's like, Beyonce, this response to Jolene is like 50 years too late. But this one TikToker had pointed out, if you listen to the lyrics, she's singing from Tina's perspective.
Okay.
And so I thought, that's interesting, because now when I look at it through that lens, a lot of the lyrics make sense. Mm-hmm. So those are just two little tidbits that I thought were, it's a lot of little Easter eggs in this. A lot of Tyrant, they're saying it is a double entendre about men being lynched back in the day, and like women kind of taking on a more promiscuous role as a form of reclaiming their power. And maybe so.
Yeah.
But so there's a lot of little think pieces that are out about this, and if you kind of look at the lyrics and break the songs down, you can come up with your own explanation of it. But I like stuff like that. I think that's interesting. Yeah. Like, give me a little something to think about. Yeah. But also, I might just want to shake my ass, and that's okay.
That's okay.
That's fine.
Two things can be true, and two things can be amongst one thing.
Exactly. So that's my take on it. If people are like, if any of y'all want to really get into it and have some thoughts, hop in the comments, and we could definitely chat more about it in the comments. But also, we were hanging out recently. We was outside.
We be out. Listen, it's getting warm.
Yeah. Period.
And your girls be brunching and showing and doing all of the things. So
all the things.
We went to go see the Here's the Thing tour. Here's the Thing podcast tour with Kevin Fredericks, Kevin on stage, and Angel Lakita Moore, which is that chick Angel. Thank you. And it was a good time. We had a really good time. I would say, the Warner Theater, the seats were a little tight.
It was a little snug.
It was giving spirit.
It's an old theater.
It was giving spirit.
It was giving spirit.
But thank God for whoever was sitting next to us, because they didn't show up. Right. Appreciate you. But we really did have a really good time, and I definitely enjoy and have been watching their podcast for a very long time. So
yeah, I really love their band. So I've been watching them for a while, and I'm a fan. And I told you this before, like I'm always watching them, trying to figure out what is it about them that draws me in. And honestly, I can't really put my finger on it, other than it's just their personalities. Yeah. Like, I just really connect with their personalities.
Yeah. And I know for me, because Angel has been doing multiple things for a very, very long time. And I think just when I getting to know her and the full background, and it just reminds me of, and I'm not going to say I was fully entrenched into the church atmosphere. We used to go regularly, and then once I got older, it was kind of like, but okay. Yeah. And to see that she dials back into her Christianity as much as she does, and Kevin, and then, excuse me, because I've been watching them for so long, to see the growth and the change in them becoming their own persons within their spirituality. I appreciate the authenticness of them. And then with her being, with both of them being of African American descent, and Angel having 4 boys, and just seeing her as a mother, and some of the things that I do, some of the things that I don't, in ways like, just things that they bring up, and I just appreciate them showing the different facets of themselves, and then them together. It allowed, Kevin can sit back and Angel could carry it, and vice versa, and it doesn't feel like it's a one-man show and you just have somebody there to be there.
Yeah, they definitely bounce off each other well. Yeah.
So I think, and I'll tell you, Angel my friend in my head, because she reminds me a lot of myself.
I can see that.
She does.
I can see
my
that.
homegirl. If I had went to a HBCU, guess what I would have been?
A Delta
girl.
Okay, shout out Deltas. If you don't know what we're talking about, the podcast is called Here's the Thing Podcast. I guess their podcast is everywhere.
Yeah,
but
it's
we
on
watch
Apple.
it on
Yeah,
YouTube.
I watch it on YouTube. They have it on Apple Music. They have it on Spotify, on wherever
all
you can
things.
find podcasts.
Yeah. So we're look, friends of the pod.
Friends of the pod, as they would say.
As they would
Same
say.
as with Joshy and all of the things.
Yeah.
We'll find our own Joshy. That's what we won't have technical difficulties.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. So, one of the other things that I know we've discussed it prior to, but it's this is the gift that keeps on giving. And it's just like a STD that you don't want to flare up. But his ass is like herpes. And he keep bringing more and more bumps.
Wow.
Because goddamn Diddy, and now he got one of his sons being sued.
Wow.
Because of a young lady who's saying that she was on a boat with them. I believe she was a chef. And Christian Combs. This is all alleged. Allegedly. Don't come for me. I don't have no money. She was just put in very awkward situations. She saw women have one drink, and again, this is from her perspective, having one drink, and next thing you know, they look off balance, kind of passing out, and so you just kind of all of the things that people have already said. More and more stuff comes out, and I'm gonna tell you something.
Being confirmed.
It's being
corroborated.
Thank you. Not necessarily confirmed, but because you don't confirm nothing until you get the pictures.
Right.
But corroborated with the same amount of people, and they're all having the same type of story. Now, this is the thing with TikTok, and this is why you got to be careful, because I was just scrolling today, and whatever you watch for more than a couple times for a length of amount of time, that's what they're gonna feed you.
They're gonna feed you. Yeah, out there it's AI. It's picking up what you like, and it's serving you up more of what you like.
So they have brought up today. I saw that they are now talking about his interaction with Mary J. Blige. And how they were a thing.
Now, how did Mary get
That's
in
what I'm
it?
saying.
How did she get in it?
They saying that they dated. She getting pregnant by him. Went through all of the things. I done seen Mace, and they done changed words to, instead of saying it's no Diddy now.
Oh.
For no escapades, no gentleman on gentleman escapades, no Diddy.
Yeah.
So it's like, I would, and this is the thing, and somebody brought this up, and I think we said this too. It's not even about, like, the boys are old enough, they 25. It's these young girls who are just graduating high school, who have to know, like, are learning of not just what he's done to women, but about, like, his sexuality, or allegedly what people are saying, his compulsion to be a overzealous person in a way of, you're going to take control of whatever circumstance and turn it to how it appeases you. And one of the things that he had a clip, and it just, I don't know why it sits so, I know why it sits negatively with me, but it just shows the devil, in my opinion, within him. And he was like, I'm Diddy, and whatever I want, I'll get. And that's all I needed to see was that.
Yeah.
You're guilty to me.
Yeah.
Because don't nobody with that type of conviction say that and they not doing something. Like, there's no way you making me walk to no motherfucker to no juniors to get no cheat. Like, there's a level of out of your mind you have to be.
Yeah, but
drunken
I
with
heard
power.
that a lot of famous people have narcissistic tendencies if they're not full blown narcissists, because and I'm not an expert, but this is what I've heard. They say that, like, it takes a certain level of delusional thinking and a certain level of grandiosity within yourself to even, like, push yourself out there and, like, really become that celebrity. Yeah. So I feel like it makes sense that, as big as he is, that he does have that type of personality, because where does that even come from? You know what I mean? Like,
and I will say, and unlike some of these other people who have had these same type of allegations, of course they were also Caucasian. I ain't there had only Stevie J has come out and said anything positive about him, and I'm like, because all of y'all was at the parties. I mean, it was a video of showing like people that who came to the parties for his birthday party. Everybody was at the party.
Yeah.
And you can't tell me if you went to the party, you ain't know about the after party.
Right. Right.
Because Diddy like to party.
And
you got to tell him no. So anyway, we will definitely keep, as much as we can, keep track of this, because I think for our generation, he has touched so many levels of our generation and my kids, because he's been around for so long.
Yeah.
That we have got to, it reminds me of R. Kelly. I got to know a verdict.
Yeah.
And speaking of verdict, and this happened this week, so maybe this is, we done lost Big O.
Oh, yeah.
Big O gone.
That's crazy.
It's so crazy. And this is what
it feels like, granted,
from cancer.
You never know when things are going to happen, but I feel like that was the most random thing.
Very random.
It feels like it came completely out of nowhere.
Well, sometimes the Lord works slow, but he gonna work. That's what they say. Anyway.
And prayers for his family.
Yeah,
right? Because as much as we may feel however we may feel about him, this man he has a whole family.
Yeah. And Khloe Kardashian, maybe this is the time to find out if that's your daddy. But
she know the truth. She just don't want to.
She don't want to, she don't want to connect herself with that. Yeah. But yeah, so those are the highlights.
Yeah.
Of what we talked about on the last video. So now let's get into the main juicy of the juice topic.
Cool.
So my question is for this week is, as you get older, is it harder to gain friends and retain friends?
So I've been thinking about this a little bit more since the last time we tried to record this. And I think my answer is similarly the same as, like, for me, it's not hard to gain friends. But I will say this. It's a little bit, okay, so I've talked about, like, my lack of boundaries before and, like, just working on that. And I think for me, I have been in a place where I'm not titling people as friends so quickly. So when you say gain friends, it's easy for me to gain associates.
Okay.
It's easy for me to connect with people.
Right.
I think what happens is, because my personality is so open, that people may think we're closer than we are.
Right.
And it's like, it's no shade. It's just that I'm interacting with a lot of people, right? And so for somebody to make it to that friend, now in my life as an adult, I am kind of looking at things with a little bit more scrutiny before I say that's a friend.
Right.
And then for me, that goes into maintaining, because what'll happen is, in the beginning, there's a lot of, especially if I'm into something new, we may be both into that new thing together. Like, at one point in time, I was really into wineries and, like, going to wineries. And so I meet, a homegirl that's really into that too, and we're going to wineries. But then as I fall off from that, or I'm like, oh, I just don't have the time to do it anymore, then it's like, well, we don't have a reason to link anymore.
Right.
And now we're kind of, that space is becoming wider and wider, where I feel like some of the accountability for me is, as I'm making new friends, I have to find other areas where we can connect, so that it's just not, I met you
focused on this one thing.
Yeah, like, I met you at the Beyonce concert, and when it comes to Beyonce, we can always click. Yeah. But then we don't really click on. And in between tours, we don't talk. Right. So for me, that's some of the accountability, is like finding other things that I can connect with people on, so that I can actively maintain those friendships. I think the other thing is, like, just I mean, sad as it may be, scheduling things and just
Right.
like putting it on the calendar.
Yeah.
Like, hey, what are you doing next month? What are you doing next week? No, let's put a happy hour on the calendar, because if we don't, I'm probably not gonna see you, right?
Right.
So I think that's another kind of, at least accountability point for me, is like, I know I have to schedule things if I want to maintain it. And then I would say the last thing is giving people a little bit more grace.
Okay.
Because I feel like with a lot of new people that come in, it's easy to be like, I don't like the way you move. I don't like the way you said that. I don't like the way you did this. And so I ain't dealing with you no more.
It's done.
And for me, I feel like there's a part of it where she may have just been having a bad day. You know, like, you don't really know this person that well. You don't know how to handle grief. You don't know how to handle stress. It could be a whole number of reasons of why they're moving weird. Give them a chance.
Yeah.
At least that's me. I know everybody's not like that, but I feel like that. And I guess it's because I would want somebody to give me a chance.
Yeah.
Like, if I did one wrong thing, or if I came at you sideways one time, I would hope that somebody would give me grace and be like, she don't normally act like that.
Right.
Let me see what's going on.
What's up?
Yeah.
I agree. So at first I was kind of like, I think I kind of was, we were on a similar page, but I had I'll say, let me answer the questions, because you know how I start. Okay, so let me answer the questions. I think for me, it's not harder for me to gain friends, as because of my personality, it can be quite easy. But because of my other personality, I don't put myself out there to do it.
Okay.
So, because I cherish my time, and I cherish because I'm a sociable person. It may be far-fetched for people that initially meet me, but I'm very sociable. And I like to bounce ideas off of people, because I think that because we've all lived a certain life, our own life, there is value in whatever your experiences were.
I agree.
But I don't want to share my life with everyone, right? So, and when we're just associates, we associate.
Okay.
we don't it. You know, we associate. So we're not friends.
Right.
So I don't want there to be any kind of, and I make it very like, you will know the difference in being my friend and what you know about, and when you're like an associate. And you may feel that we are friends, but our friendship is very surface level. Our association is very surface level. My friendship is very deep. They know a lot about me, and I value the input that they give into my life.
Right.
So I will. I had an incident where I had a friend of mine, and this is where I knew that I needed to. The incident that happened caused me to be more like how I am now.
Okay.
So, we were really, so from my purview, we were really, really good friends. And I would tell him everything, right? Like, we would talk about all type of things. It was just like a really platonic female-male friendship. Knew when I was having kids. I came to the house, my parents know him, all of the things. But it was more one-sided. Now, looking at it now, it was very much so one-sided. Because I would talk to him about a lot of stuff, and it wasn't being reciprocated. So one day, excuse me, I was getting ready to start a new job, so we were celebrating. Had him come over, and he came over with a little child. And I'm like, oh, who is this, your niece and nephew? I mean, Lord, it was a girl. So, is this your niece? I was like, and he was like, no, this is my daughter. At the time, she was like 9 months.
Wow.
Almost 10 months. Almost to the she might have been almost 1 where she was getting ready to walk. And so in my mind, I'm like, I talk to you regularly.
How is it that I didn't know you had a baby on the way?
And not even is on the way. Had a baby, and had a baby trying to walk.
Right. Yeah.
So we talking about 19 months.
Yeah.
So I heard from a third party that he had gotten married. And so when I saw, I was like, oh, you got married? And I'm not even the one to be like, why you ain't invite me to the wedding? But to not even tell me that you get, that you, not even to the, let's forget the marriage part. Not that you even were thinking about proposing, that you did propose, how you like these are things that as my friend,
would share with your friend.
You would share with your friend. If I've talked to you about the guy that I started talking, like this is when me and Dee first started talking, like the guy that I started talking to, some of the things, and like getting his opinion on, like, okay, this is what's happening. Can you explain? Like, give me some insight. I'm trying to do the relationship thing better. So for me to divulge, you've been around my kids, he's picked up Jayla, I trusted you with my children. And then you start acting out of nowhere. It's not as if I did anything. We had the conversation, and then it was like, oh, we not, like when I saw him in the hallway, because we worked together, and I was like, hey, and he was like, and I went up to him like usual, like we used to do, and I was like, what's up, and thought that we would have a conversation. And he kind of gave me like the, hey, and kept on moving. No problem, right? After that, he ended up finding a new job, so we no longer work together. Cool. And I had looked to see he was still in like my contacts. I kind of erased him from that because I'm like, I haven't talked to you. Like again, it's going on. We've now 3 years in, me and Dee. So this was 3 years ago.
Wow.
So I randomly get a ping, and he's like, he sends me a text message. And he was like, hey, and called me by the nickname that he called me 3 years ago. And in my mind, I'm like, my name is Kendra to you.
Yeah.
There's no, what?
Yeah,
but
we ain't on that type of level.
We ain't on that time, but I ain't say that, that's not my, I've grown. That's not my personality. I'm trying to figure out, and this is how I always feel, for someone to contact me after you did me dirty,
right?
It must be something big. Because I guess, and the thing is, I think like this because if I'm contacting you, if I know I did you dirty, it got to be something big for me. Yeah. Because my pride won't let me do it. Yeah. I will, if it's easier for me to just call you and get the answer, I will figure the answer out. If that means doing months of research, I will do that. I'm not, like, if I know that we fell out or we not cool or whatever, I'm not doing that. Yeah. So he reached out to me and kind of asked me a question that kind of, at first I remember usually I would kind of downplay it. I was very honest. Not in a rude way, but just very honest. And so he had asked me like, hey, question for you. I was having a conversation with someone else, and I just want to get your opinion. And I'm like, okay. So he's like, what do you consider us? Me and you. And I was like, well, at first I considered us really, really good friends. So I said, but at this point, I would just consider us acquaintances. I didn't even say associates. Yeah. We're acquaintances. Yeah. And so he was like, well, would you point a finger at that? And I was like, yeah. And I told him exactly just what I said. And I was like, from my purview, I thought we were friends and this and that. And so he was like, I said, I told you everything. I mean, not everything, but yeah. If you a male, a good amount, of things, right? Yeah. You ain't a female, so I ain't gonna tell you everything, right? And he was like, you know what, you're right. And he was like, I'm just trying to learn and get better. And so that opened my eyes to sometimes people have not been in situations where they've had to really be a true friend, and then we don't allow or give the truthful answer, because a lot of usually I just like, oh, we friends, we cool, and just keep it at that, and know that no, you did hurt my feelings. No, I did change the level or what I look at you in my life. I didn't discard you, but it's not going to be the same. Yeah. I was having a conversation with one of my other girlfriends, and so I was like, I will always be myself, right? I will always be the person that's going to give you the best advice, because for people that I care about or have cared about, I still want you to be the best that you can be. But you won't get the same version of me that was the most genuine and authentic, because you've shown me that you can't handle that level of my friendship. Right. But I'm going to give it to you, and it takes time for you to work back into that.
Right.
But yeah, so I think that I took away from that situation that you do have to sometimes give that grace, because some people haven't been put in the position to show up in a mature friendship.
Or they grow.
They grow.
Right, they go back and you kind of reflect on your actions and you're like, damn, I don't know why I was moving like that. Let me call such and such. Let me
find out.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when people are willing to be held accountable for their actions, that is a call to me to say, you know what? It's not like he said, well, made excuses for it. He was like, you know what? You're right. I didn't. And I said, and it wasn't I didn't feel as if it was coming from like, you needed something from me, so you need to clear this up real quick, so that we can just kind of get back. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of times you'll get that where it's like, well, that wasn't my intent, and then 3-4 weeks it's like, hey, guess so this is going on. Did you want to come to my birthday party, or did you want, because none of your friends want to be there, right? So I need to clear this up real quick. I know it wasn't really that bad, so let me clean it up, and then that way, because I'm having this birthday trip and I need your money. Mm.
Or whatever resource you may have.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I think the other side of that though is, so like after y'all had that conversation and you felt like, okay, I see you're trying to grow, did it put you in a different space of like, maybe we could try to get back to where we once were? I'm gonna
be honest with you, and this is something that I'm trying to work on. I don't know if I could ever, I'm not gonna say I can't ever. With friends, it will take more than what it would do, like, because I've had falling outs with like family and different things like that, and we back like, and it took time, but in those situations, unfortunately, my son passed, and that really caused, like, it was a forced thing. Because we needed each other. And I don't need nothing like that to be happening for me to get back with anybody. Yeah. But I think that, I unfortunately, it will be a while, because in my soul, it's going to be like, I don't want to get my feelings hurt.
That's what
I'm not going to get my feelings hurt again. And I know what you're capable of. And so it will take a lot for me. And unfortunately, for those situations, not necessarily a major death or something like that, but it would be like, if something happens, I need to see if you can show up as my friend.
I think for me, a lot of times I take it personal.
Yes.
And maybe some of the work is not taking it so personal, but initially I can't help but to think, so something's wrong with me, or like, you don't fuck with me. You know what I mean? Like, you told everybody else that you was getting married, but you didn't tell me.
Right.
So it's like, and maybe it's basically decentering yourself, because like, you don't know unless you talk to that other person why they chose to handle things the way they chose to handle it. But for me, my initial response would be, they don't like me, or it's something about me that's not resonating with them. Right. And so I think for me, that wall comes up because it's like, I haven't, either when we try to rekindle, it's either going to be, you didn't address why it went down that way in the first place to kind of reconfirm to me that it wasn't me.
Yeah.
Or if it is me, then there's some insecurities within myself that maybe I'm not
picking up on,
or haven't worked through. Yeah. And so we can't get back, because, for example, if a friend falls out and she's and she's like, this is just a hypothetical, she's like, I don't like the fact that, you have a drink every week. I don't drink, you know what I'm saying? I don't like the fact that you have a drink every week. So that's something that I'm doing that you don't really like. And so you're distancing yourself because you don't like that. So then if later she grows and she's like, you know what, that was so petty of me. I don't know why. I was just really in a crazy place. Like, I need to come back. I don't know if I will be able to be like, okay, cool, come back. Because I'll be thinking, well, what if I do something else that you don't like?
It's going to take a
and
minute.
even if she's saying that had nothing to do with you drinking, I was just in a really weird space.
Yeah.
For me, I would still be, and this is what I mean when I say this is probably my own insecurity, because even though you have the evidence that it wasn't about you, I know that emotionally I would still feel like, but if something else that I decide to do doesn't rub you right, then you could leave again. And I don't want to let you in for you to decide I'm bouncing. It's like, you can't just come in and out of my life like that. You know what I mean? Like, and so that may not have anything to do with the other person, but I just think for me that's what makes it hard. Like, even when you're giving people grace and they are being mature and they are taking accountability, I just think that there has to be maturity on both ends. And even though I feel like I have done a lot of growth just in general, I know that for me, that part would still be hard. How do I fully accept this person? If they've apologized, I accept the apology. If they're taking accountability, I accept the accountability. But then how do I justify within myself it's safe to let this person back in? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think for me, because I've been in that situation, but it was something that with my friendship, it didn't align with me. And I'm gonna be honest with you, at that point, I was judging. I was in the spirit of judgment. And not that we fell off, but it was just kind of like, I can't be a friend to you talking about this. And it's not, and I wasn't in any, and I didn't have the emotionally correct words to say that. Yeah. It was kind of like we just kind of drifted apart. Like, I didn't call as much. I wasn't going back, because I was like going over there all the time, this and the fourth, because we had a lot of things, literally a lot of things in common, kids, all of that. And then it was like, oh, well, now I'm talking to this married person. And I'm like, and y'all know how I feel about that. So it was kind of like, no. And then I was like, you deserve better than that. And I don't want to be, again, in my judgmental space, associated with somebody that's willing to lower themselves to that. And like you pointed out, what does that mean? Why does that mean that they're lowering themselves? Yeah. You know? And so for me, I never like called him like, oh, I just want to rekindle this relationship, because I also know your lifestyle may not be aligned with how I am, but that doesn't mean that I just want to cut you off as a person. I didn't also know that I might want to recycle out what our relationship is, and maybe we need to be acquaintances, and
like that might just be better for us overall in general. Anyway.
We chit chat, we see each other, hey, how the kids, it's at the four, which I got planned going on, but I don't need to be so deeply involved in your life, because when I'm deeply involved in my friends' lives, I want to be held accountable, as also I want to hold my friends accountable. And I felt like if I did that, it would cause strain in our relationship, and I would prefer that just not be the case. So I've been in that, where one thing, you know what I'm saying, the example that you gave. And so for me, I'm just not a person that's going to just be like, oh, I'm going to come back and we just going to be, because I know myself, and that I had to be accountable that, no, I may not judge you, but I know that doesn't align with what goes on in my spirit. And this is how I feel about it. Karma be like, you okay with it. So when it happens to you, don't say nothing. Right. You hanging out with her. You cool with her. Y'all all going out on a double date. What you mad for? Yeah. I can't, in my, just for my soul and how I feel, I just couldn't do it. But to know about how she's doing, know about the kids, know about what's going on, whatever, I'm all in, you know. Need something? Oh, you looking for a new job? Hey, send me your resume. All of those things. But the more and more you spend time with people, that's when they really become friends, best friends. Like, that's my sister. That's my this. That's my that. And when I start calling you that, now we're going to have some conversations. We doing. Yeah. Yeah. You know, kind of thing. So.
Yeah. I mean.
It is. And so I think it doesn't have to be hard. No. It doesn't have to be hard to gain or retain. I think, but you, just like with any partner, you have to grow together and continue to date each other.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
everybody changes. Somebody gets married, somebody has a child, somebody loses a parent. You like things happen in your life that causes a shift in the personality. It causes a shift in who you are. And the friend that I met in high school, even for us, the friend that I met in high school ain't the friend that I have now, because there's some things that have happened. There's some growth. There's some that, and the person that I met last year ain't around this. You know what I'm saying? Or 2 years ago, 3 years ago, ain't around now because their growth didn't happen,
right?
Or our growths didn't align, or whatever, and that's ends up happening. So being able to continue to date and learn about each other and friend each other, it also will cut down on the dramatics of a friend breakup. Some of the things that you're doing ain't same girl, and I wish you all the well. And when you see him, there's no static. Yeah. There's no hard feelings. There's no issue, because it's like we ended this amicably because we saw that the direction in which we were growing wasn't aligned with each other anymore. So
I think it also too, you have to have, well, I can't say that. I was going to say you have to have a some level of maturity, but then I can't even say that because friendship dynamics are going to occur regardless of the maturity level. Yeah. So I guess it's either you're self-aware and you can approach it, like we said, giving grace, being open, being willing to get to know people and grow with people, or you don't. Yeah. And then your community will reflect that. Yeah. Like for those people that are like, I only got 2 good friends, I have a lot of good girlfriends. And sometimes I hear from people like, I don't keep that many females around me.
I don't women that's like that. It's something.
It's
weird,
it's a little
right?
Weird.
It's weird. It's a little weird.
Because and I'm just saying that it's weird. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's weird. Because for me, I find a lot of value in my community of female friends. That's just me personally, but also I take time to invest in women who, like you said, can pour back into me and who have the kind of character that that can sustain the friendship. You know what I mean?
And that can sustain, because I am one of those girls that's like, I got 5 good ones and 2 of them is my mama and my cousins. But part of that is because of my personality. And I'm not going to say that I'm a hard friend to have. I'm a writer. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to not always choose your side. But I'm also like, I am a person that does not talk about shit that I don't know about. I'm very much so like, if I'm telling you something, it's because I've either done my research, it's because I've watched certain things specifically on what we're talking about, or I always make mine that, now this is just my opinion, this is not something I heard or something. If I heard about it, if I can say, hey, go watch this person had a great conversation about this, or they have a good post about this, or they have more knowledge about this because I've seen it. I do a lot of deep diving on a lot of stuff, and and I don't need you to follow what I'm saying. I'm just like, this is a mustard seed, and however it grows, you can't never say you ain't heard it. Right. And a lot of times, and one of the things I've heard before, oh, you think you know everything. It's like, I don't know everything, but when I say when I talk about what I talk about, and I give detail into it, it's because this I know that maybe not so, and I'll be the first one to be like, oh, my bad, I was wrong. Yeah. But when it be on certain things, I refuse to talk about stuff. Not refuse, but I try not to give advice or talk about things that I don't know about. And people, oh, you think you know everything? I don't. But you see, I don't talk about stuff I don't know about, because I don't want to give a false pretense on what you should or shouldn't do, or what I just think because of my own feelings, or because I'm not going to be a yes person. I'm not going to do any of that. Now, if I see my friends getting dragged or something happening, and as much as I might be non-biased, when I start seeing your feelings hurt, the biases is coming in. Fuck that lady. Go on about your day. You know what I'm saying? Nah, they ain't gonna play my friend like that. Right. The whole time I'm like, but I can understand where she coming from. This, that, but it really hurt my feelings. Well, fuck her. Forget her. Where we gonna pull out? Tell her to pull out. That's why I have 2 daughters that are that way. Janae's like, nah, give him a chance. Jayla's like, who? Who we fighting? They got a problem with you.
I identify with Janae. Like,
why are you talking to them? Stand on business. Because Mama, you ain't standing on business. I'm like, well, what is standing on business? Why you answer? Why is she still even able to call your phone? You ain't cussed her out yet? Jayla, everybody don't need, that's not what I need in my life. Give me the phone. I'll cuss her out. But yeah, so you all let us know, right?
Yeah,
like,
y'all
as you guys have been going through this life, you know, do you still have, and again, LaToya and I just really reconnected. I don't, like, from school, I don't have any of my friends.
I do. I have quite a few friends from school.
I don't talk to nobody.
I got a handful. I got a handful from school.
And a lot of, this is what, I got pregnant. And it was like, oh, you shouldn't do it. Everybody want to judge the kid.
But there again, paths not aligning.
Yeah. And I'm like, my decision ain't got nothing to do with you. It's not like I'm out here, you know, whatever. You know, then y'all go to college, and then y'all don't even want to be friends because y'all hate living together. Well, how the tables have turned. But yeah, so, and you know, and I hate to, like I've said before, this me is comfortable in the podcast.
Yes, please give the disclaimer.
The studio. You only get this. Like, I mean, y'all are becoming my friends, right?
But the thing is,
are y'all becoming my friends? Like, y'all becoming the people. I would hope at some point when we are, you know.
She's saying all of this until she breaks the fourth wall, right?
And then you see me, you be like, Kendra just don't even.
Because right now you talking to a screen.
I know, right? I see my reflection.
But as soon as you get around some real people who you don't know,
don't do that,
and then they act like they know you.
I know, and then I be like, girl,
then I be like. Or they looking for this version of
y'all.
You.
Look, and it take a minute to get to this. And I have people that have, like, Tiffany. You know, we just kind of met a year ago. Me and Tiffany cousins.
Yeah.
But I got to know. Like, you can't walk up to me and think you're gonna get this version.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a very different version because I protect my peace. I protect my people because when I open the door, you're meeting my parents, you're meeting my kids, you're meeting my core, and I don't have time like, well, what happened to such and such? And I got to tell you, a child, they done told me that they ain't tell me they got married, and then I'm looking stupid because I don't, what the hell you bring them around here for?
Right.
Because for you to get to the point, I mean, I have some of my kids' fathers, nobody has met. And I done had children with And they like, well, we never even met the man. I was like, well, listen.
It is what it is.
Call me Mary. He's just a spirit. You hear me? Hello? Come on now. You don't need to see the physical.
I'm doing this with her.
So anyway. But I hope to meet y'all. And I know some of you all, we know, and things of that nature. And I will say this. Let me put the drink down. I hope that the people that that see me regularly at work, out in the streets, whatever, and they're like, oh, she don't speak, she kind of stuck. Understand that I am human and I'm a good person, right? But it takes a minute for me to warm up. I'm
laughing because most people that have to say I'm a good person.
I am a good person. You know what I am? You know what I am?
Good people normally don't have to say that.
Listen, let me tell you what I am. I am a pot of cold water that you just put on the stove.
It take a minute
to heat you up. But when I start boiling, you can make you some rice. You can steam you some veggies. We eating good once I start boiling. But if you try too hard and you put the rice in when I'm cold, you ain't getting nothing. But some crusted rice.
Great analogy.
Right? I'm telling you. The fact that I even told you that gives you, to give you the woman fuzzies that she's trying. She loves us enough to give us the recipe to get into the club.
Amen. I'm proud of you.
Okay, thank you. She just laugh at me all the time.
I do.
Oh, I'm not doing this with you. Eat a spirit.
We gotta get out of here.
We gotta get out. Listen, Lord, you know my heart. You know what you created. So that wraps up another episode.
Period. That was a good one.
Thank you for sticking with us. We apologize that this did not come out on Wednesday.
Third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm. We out here. I hope you enjoyed another episode with the Thoughts in the Glass Gals. Okay. Drinks is flowing.
Make sure you guys like, subscribe, hit the notification button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We have a good time. Y'all listened to the disclaimer last week. Appreciate you watching the videos fully. Even if you have to put it on in the background. Turn up the playback speed if you need to. But definitely those watch throughs help us. We're a small channel, but we're trying to grow. So we need that. And we appreciate those that are doing it.
And we know y'all hook y'all phone up to your car. You don't have to necessarily watch to listen. If you can listen to satellite radio and you can listen to 93.9 and Tigger and them and all of the people, just put us on and listen. Now, I know you want to then see how we laughing or my facial expression, because I'm going to tell you one thing. My wife might say something, but this face gives it all. So, go back home and rewatch it.
Right.
And then that way you can laugh and see.
Yeah.
You know.
And leave us some comments.
Get up in here. Stop texting me.
Yes.
Or seeing me in the street saying, girl, I love the video. Get up in them comments.
Period.
Beat y'all up. I'm just playing. So yes. And with that being said, because I done threatened y'all, we're going to drink to that.
Drink to that.